Alright, look, we all have clothes from our past that we're ashamed of, from kids wearing those buttoned up black shirts with flames on it like they're going to a year 6 disco, to the recent influx in Croc sales, which I'm still confused about, and every time I see someone wearing them I think I lose touch with the modern world just a little bit more. The same goes for football kits, which have become a major point of anticipation for all teams across the planet, with fans looking forward to seeing what new design companies like Nike, Adidas and Puma have come up with the ultimate reveal either looking like a work of art or like a turd in the middle of your kid's birthday cake. Today we're sticking with Liverpool. Sorry about 90% of my fan base, but we're going from the past right the way up to the present. Welcome to Good Sport Reviews, and this is every Liverpool Premier League home kit ranked from worst to best. Number 24, 2024-25. I hate this kit so much. I understand there are probably other ones that deserve to be lower, but I think because some of them are associated with the dark times of the club's history, they're instantly viewed as awful, but this one is bad with a capital. From the lines all over the shirt, which are meant to look like the YNWA motto, I can only see a Y by the way, to the collar which stops abruptly rather than meeting in the middle of the shirt, to the weird Lightning McQueen racing stripes down the side which look like highlights on a Hot Wheels car. It's awful, and the people who made it should feel awful. Number 23, 2012-2013. This looks cheap as chips, and not the good chips, but chips that were found in a bin and were free. Genuinely, it looks like someone has grabbed a red shirt from Primark and printed a logo on it. The collar is tiny going forward, but during matches, it looked like the players had airplane wings stuck to their necks, and that colour for the sponsor is not good. The whole thing just looks cheap and boring. If there are two things your home kit should not be, it's cheap and boring. Number 22, 2019-20. The fact that I have to associate Liverpool winning their first league title since 1990 and one of the greatest individual campaigns in Premier League history with this pinstripe crime against fashion makes me want to cry. I hate pinstripes on football kits with a passion. They just make it look cheap, and the way they cut off at the shoulder region rather than carrying on just drives me mental. Not to mention the weird white pattern on the sleeve and the way the standard chartered logo is a different colour to the Western Union and New Balance badges. It's not the worst kit ever, but Liverpool have boasted some of the greatest home kits in Premier League history, and this, sure as anything, is not one of them. Number 21, 1993-1995. I always feel kind of bad ragging on all the kit. I don't feel much of that here though. Remember when you were a kid and used to dip your fingers in mud or paint and do like wall lines across your cheeks? Well, that's what the 93-95 home kit looks like for Liverpool, like some bored kid in art class is planning to attack another child. I mean, what were they thinking with those lines? Seriously. Add to that the collar is too big and the weird line pattern on the shirt, and you've got yourself a mess. Also, who decided it was a good idea to highlight the players' names with green bordering? Shrek sends his regards. Number 20, 2016-17. It's similar to the 2012-13 kit, just without the god-awful collar and material that looks cheap enough to be bought at an arts and crafts fair. This one is slightly better and actually quite like the colour around the neckline and of the sponsors and badge, but it's just a bit bland. It's the ready salted crisp of football kits, colour red and all. There are great memories with this kit, and when I look at it I immediately think of Sadio Mane and his goal against Everton at Goodison Park, but we're soon going to be getting to the section of the list where the main issue with them is them being boring as sin, and this is the worst of the lot. Number 19, 2000-2002. When people make football kits, I always believe that the badge should be the most vibrant feature. It's the thing which represents your side and shows off the passion you have for the club, so with that in mind, what is this? The badge is about the size of a 50p coin, and I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like the red is too bright. Like, it doesn't look red on first glance. It just seems like some sort of off pink. I don't mind the white trims around the kit, and the collar isn't bad, but those with that club crest really make this unappealing, and that's not helped by the colour. Number 18, 2002-2004. Same as last time, really. What have you done to the badge? This one is better because of the wavy line pattern along the chest, and I much prefer this style of collar to the white trim around the last one, but it's just bland. Again, honestly, I imagine it's hard to get creative with your kits in a way that looks good, but a lot of our mid-2000s kits are just a bit boring, and this one isn't much better. I like the Reebok logo in a weird way. Looks kind of retro, but it's so high on the kit it's practically tattooed on players' foreheads. Number 17, 2022-23. To call this a bad kit would be a bit of an overreaction, but it's once more with feeling. Bland. I understand there are only so many things you can do with a red kit, but nothing around the collar. Pray tell me why. Not even a bit of white to break up the colour or some sort of small pattern or mark to give it some character. I mean, in all honesty, this should probably rank lower than the previously mentioned 2016-17 kit, but I think the white and red is beautiful looking compared to the weird colour on that kit. And yeah, it's not bad, like I said, but it's painfully dull, and that's a crime in and of itself. Number 16, 2021-22. I think most of my hatred stems from the way the 21-22 season ended. Thank you very much, City and Madrid, but I just don't like the stripes. It's some sort of phobia I'm convinced I have. When I look at them, it just looks like they've given a red kit to a child, said, how can we spice this up? And the child's just giggled and grabbed the nearest felt tip pen to draw across it. I'm happy it's got that orange around the collar and sleeves to break up the pattern. That's an improvement, and the white line going around the back of the neck is nice, but I could do without the TV static lines effect. Like the SCART League is a bit loose in the TV and needs a good jiggle around so you can watch your DVDs. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, then stop watching because you've got primary school in the morning. Number 15, 1992-93. Oh good, the Urukai are back. Time for us to light the beacons and call Gondor for aid. No, in all seriousness, this one is an improvement on the 93-94 kit. It hasn't got that line pattern embedded into the kit itself, and one set of those white Adidas stripes is better than two. Also, because of the white stripes, the Adidas logo has to go right up at the top again like the 2002-04 kit, and I've already explained how the manufacturer doesn't need to be this high on the kit. The badge is a nice bit of nostalgia with the 100 years nicely embedded into it, but I don't know, man. D+ must do better. Number 14, 2015-16. I've actually grown to quite enjoy this kit as time's gone on. The white really stands out well, and I like the thin line around the cuffs and collar just to break everything up a bit in the necessary areas. And not only that, but this was Liverpool's home kit when Jurgen Klopp took over in 2015. Aww. So, Lewis, you beautiful bastard, I hear you asking, why does it rank so low down on the list if you love it so much? Because of the pattern. This is by no means the worst kit pattern Liverpool have had in their history, cough cough, but it's also just so bad to look at. Why does it start small at the top and turn into long strips of circus tent pattern at the bottom like an elephant balancing a beach ball is going to slide out of Emre Can's shirt? Seriously, if that pattern wasn't there, this would be much higher, but my miserable attitude is preventing that from happening. Number 13, 1998-2000. The kit's so nice they used it twice, or in other words, the kit with a badge so small you can see all. Genuinely, if you have cataracts, you ain't seeing this thing. Besides that, it's simple but in a good way. The colour is bold and vibrant, the white collar and cuffs help break up the red, and despite their beer tasting like a town's well water with a dead fox inside it, Carlsberg and Liverpool kits go together like Carlsberg and the bin. The badge is a bit much, to say the least, with the border around it, which makes the actual thing so small as a penny, but it doesn't take too much away from this kit, which was used the same season we signed Sami Hyypiä for £2 million, and he's one of my favourite players, and isn't that something we all enjoy? Number 12, 1996-98. It's similar to the previous entry, but with a better collar and a better looking border around the badge. I seriously don't know what the idea was when the idea for that badge was pitched, but it doesn't look good, and whoever did it shouldn't feel good either. Like I mentioned, the collar is good with that red stripe through the middle of it being a nice touch, but besides that, it's just the 98-2000 home kit but with a bit of extra jazz added to it. It's far from the worst and certainly is better in my opinion than the previous entries, but seriously, that badge. Number 11, 2010-12, easily the best part of the 2010-2012 period for Liverpool. This kit, with the club losing Rafa Benitez, losing Fernando Torres, and losing the ability to play good football by approaching the walking embodiment of meh in Roy Hodgson. Traumatic memories aside, this kit is actually quite nice. It has a nice collar which goes up around the back of the neck. The white stripes down the shoulders look a damn sight better than the Warrior chest plate of the early Premier League years, and it's the last Liverpool kit to use the club's crest before switching to the Liver Bird, which is a nice bit of nostalgia for me. Do I enjoy the wavy white patterns on the arms? No, and I can live without that diamond pattern on the chest as well. Honestly, this should probably be higher, but I have some sort of deep-rooted hatred towards this time period, so me putting this any higher would be an insult to my own well-being. Number 10, 2018-19. Now, call me a hater of tradition all you like, but I actually really like the darker colour kits that Liverpool used this season. Don't get me wrong, the sleeves needed something going around them in my opinion, just to break up the red from the neck down, but that button-up collar is a lovely little bit of me. The deep red makes the white explode into your eyesight, please don't twist that, and the faint pattern in the background mixes well with the colour and isn't as visually jarring as something like, say, the 2015-16 kit. It's just nice and simple, but a good good kind of simple. It's like a cheese toasty. It's nothing special, isn't winning any awards, it just does the job. But let me know in the comments down below if you think I'm right or if this kit is ugly. Number 9, 2004 to 2006. A sentence no Arsenal fan can say now. The second Champions League winning strip in a row on this list. 2004 to 2006 was the 2 years that saw Liverpool wear this rather nice pit of attire in arguably the biggest moment in the club's history, and no, I'm not talking about signing Fernando Morientes. I could probably go without the border around the club's badge, and the collar does need something around the outside just to give it some definition, like a fake white line, but the white patches along the rib section look nice, and it doesn't try too hard to reinvent the wheel. It's subtle, and that black border around the player name and number giving it that 3D sort of effect. Maybe some Istanbul tinted glasses are being worn here, but this was also the same kit we wore when we won the FA Cup the following season. Doesn't have anything to do with the previous statement, but I just felt like it needed bringing up. Number 8, 2013-14. What did I say about rose tinted glasses before? Because, oh baby, this entry is as tinted as a drug dealer's car windows. On paper, this entry is going to make me a hypocrite on Donald Trump levels, with it being a pattern in the background that looks like someone's wallpaper from the 90s, but the different colour standard charted similar to the season before. But I don't know how to explain it other than look at this man in this kit and tell me how it doesn't look good. The white dashes on the cuffs and neck, the way the club's badge matches so well with the Warrior logo and sponsor colour, making it all stand out so well. The fact that it's a shade darker than the 2012-13 kit, so the contrasting colours are able to go well together rather than bring out the worst in each other like two drunks trying to plan what to do after the club closes. It just works, and I'm not ashamed to say that. And look at these two. Look at these beautiful men wearing the kit. Number 7, 2014-15. It might be a controversial take, but this kit is so nice to look at. It just looks clean, and it was nice to have this level of white back on the Liverpool kit after the previous years. The kit numbers weren't the best with the weird lines going through them, and the season can get in the bin, but those white lines just highlight everything nice about this kit. The red is the perfect shade to go with them and makes everything pop so well in the light. The club crest being that different colour makes it stand out so well, and that's what the crest should do. Come at me all you want. This kit is beautiful to look at, and no amount of Balotelli or Markovic can change that. Maybe Markovic. Number 6, 2023-24. Subtle, sweet, and what's that? A pattern in the background that doesn't take your eyes away from anything else. Huzzah! Beers for all. It's inspired by the 97-94 home kit, which was all round by account a damn good year, winning the FA Cup and entering the final year of Bill Shankly's reign. And this kit shows off all the best qualities of the nostalgic home kit. Nice bright white features which pop from this particularly red strip, a nice 3D sort of effect on the badge, which a lot of the clubs over the next few years would adopt, and it's just easy to look at. Nothing too flashy, nice and simple, but while still maintaining its class, which isn't hard to do when you sign Yaya Toure regen Ryan Gravenberch and World Cup winner Alexis McAllister in the same season. It's just a good time all round. Number 5, 2020-21. If the last kit was a filet mignon, then this is a filet mignon with extra onion rings. That extra line of teal around the cuffs and collar, inspired by the kits of the mid-1990s, is so goddamn good. The swirling subtle pattern across the chest and shoulders mixes well with the faint dotted marks along the midsection, and I love the pop-up effect of those 2020 kits onwards have adopted just to give it that extra layer of detail. The season itself was a drop-off from the title-winning campaign 1 year earlier, but after Van Dijk's leg got a bit poorly and the entire backline dropped off quicker than Gautier's career, the fact that we finished third is nothing short of a miracle, and doing it in this thin red veil of beauty is just the extra cherry on my sundae. Number 4, 2017-18. The year is 2017 and things are looking good. Liverpool are in the Champions League for the first time in almost half a decade. The club have just signed the most beautiful man to come out of Egypt since Moses, and this beautiful piece of red and white hit the scenes. It's actually fairly familiar to the 2020-21 kit, but with a nice gold looking Liverpool crest to celebrate the 125 years of the club's history, which you know I'm a big fan of. And instead of the thicker teal lines around the white, it instead is a thin black strip which looks absolutely peachy. No horrible pattern averting my gaze like a car crash, and a nice darker shade of red to make it all work. I love it, and if you subscribe, I'll love you too. Number 3, 2008 to 2010. This was prime Rafa Benitez Liverpool. Say what you want about the 2005 Champions League final, but that was a trophy we shouldn't have won. This kit came in a Premier League season which we should have won, with players like Gerrard, Torres, Alonso and Mascherano all fighting Manchester United for the title while wearing this piece of hot stuff. I mean, look at it. Look at those white stripes, are a lovely addition to the Liverpool kits of old. It's got the old nostalgia feel looking back at it now with the original club crest, and it's such a nice kit with the faint change in texture along the sides, making the centre stand out without having to slap a horrible colour on it, and the live bird on the back of the neck was a nice touch, which would eventually be changed, and rightly so, into 96 before turning into 97. I could go without the Croatian flag on the inside of the back collar, but we can't have everything, I guess. Number 2, 2006 to 2008. I love it so much. Many people will go back and forth between the previous entry and this one, and it was a bit of a toss-up, but what sets this one apart? Well, 2 things. The white border around the front, giving the strip that extra element of class, looks lovely, and the stripes going all the way down the sleeves instead of stopping at the halfway mark like the previous pick. I haven't got enough words to say about this one, so I'll let Jay Pearson, editor of the Patrick Berger YouTube channel and a Crew shirt enthusiast, explain for me.
Okay, so the 2006-2008 Liverpool home shirt, one of the best I think that Adidas ever produced for the club, really. It's just a masterpiece in terms of design and performance. It's everything that you sort of want from a Liverpool shirt. You've got the really nice red colour. It's very minimalistic, as well as having a little bit of edge to it. And what I mean by that is sort of the piping down there, sort of the way the fabric's designed. You've sort of got this poppy effect at the collar, which gives you a nice grain feel, which again is just little subtle things like that that's really made the shirt stand out. But, you know, name sets on the back were great. You know, that is just classic Adidas, isn't it? That's absolutely stunning. I mean, this is my original shirt from 2006, so apologies for the worn name set of Carragher on the back, but, you know, I did have a lot of use and wear out of it. But I mean, look at it, it's just classic Champions League as well with the badges, and it screamed everything that you wanted in a Liverpool shirt. And you know, you look at this shirt and you think of Peter Crouch's goal against Galatasaray, the overhead kick, which was just fantastic. And you know, even though we didn't win in Greece, I've still got fond memories of looking at this shirt, because I think, you know, we had a really good team and we had a really good season, and some amazing moments in this shirt as well. And God, this would have looked beautiful picking up the European Cup, wouldn't it? But at the end of the day, for Adidas to come back after taking over from Reebok and producing this first goal, I thought, yeah, it was brilliant. And I remember the day it happened, and you know, not just this one, the whole line of shirts for that couple of years were really good to balance out from this home shirt. So I would definitely say this is one of Liverpool's best home shirts in the Premier League era.
And number 1, 1995-96. Take a home kit, make it red, add a Carlsberg logo, put white stripes down the sleeves which connect to those lovely elasticated white cuffs, make the club's badge as royal looking as possible for beautiful border and colour, make the player names and numbers beautiful with a white border and strips along them, and give it to some extra character. Add a collar which looks nostalgic but smart and tidy, have a nice cold pint, and wait for all this to blow over. How's that for a slice of fried gold? And that's our list. If you're new around here, please make sure to hit like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video.